Think about it for a moment. Every time you make an excuse, you're reinforcing a belief that keeps you anchored in the past. An excuse is just a story, a habit of thought, a neural pathway you've walked so many times it feels like truth. But what if today you decided to rewrite the script? What if you stopped rationalizing mediocrity and started stepping into your full potential? The only thing standing between the life you have and the life you want is the excuse you're willing to let go of. Let's dive in and learn how to rewire your mind and break free. Excuses are patterns ingrained in the way we think, behave, and respond to challenges. They are not just fleeting thoughts, but entrenched habits that shape our decisions and dictate the trajectory of our lives. When you make an excuse, you're not just justifying an action or inaction, you're reinforcing a belief system that tells your brain this is acceptable. Over time, these patterns become deeply embedded in your mind, forming neural pathways that make it easier and more automatic to lean on excuses rather than face challenges or take responsibility. Our brains are wired to seek comfort and avoid discomfort. This primal survival mechanism served our ancestors well in dangerous situations, but in modern life it can work against us. When we encounter something difficult or unfamiliar, our brain's natural response is often to retreat to safety. Excuses provide that sense of safety. They become mental shortcuts that shield us from discomfort, fear, or failure. For instance, if you're afraid of public speaking, your brain might generate an excuse like "I'm not a natural speaker" or "I don't have the time to prepare." These statements feel valid, but they're merely your brain's way of avoiding a perceived threat. Breaking this pattern begins with awareness. You must first recognize that excuses are not immutable truths, but learned responses. They are stories you've told yourself repeatedly until they feel real. For example, if you've always said, "I'm not good with numbers," you've likely avoided situations where you might have to deal with math. Over time, this excuse solidifies into a belief, and your actions or lack thereof reinforce it. The key to breaking this cycle is to question these excuses. Are they factual, or are they interpretations you've accepted without scrutiny? Most often, you'll find they're the latter. Once you've identified an excuse, the next step is to consciously disrupt the pattern. This requires deliberate effort because breaking a habit is never easy. Neural pathways, the physical representations of our habits and thoughts, don't disappear overnight. However, the brain is remarkably adaptable, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. By consistently choosing a new thought or action over the old pattern, you can literally rewire your brain. For instance, if your excuse has been, "I don't have enough time to exercise," you can replace it with, "I'll prioritize my health by finding even 10 minutes a day to move my body." Repeating and acting on this new thought gradually weakens the old pathway and strengthens the new one. The process of rewiring your brain requires consistency and commitment. At first, it will feel uncomfortable because you're going against what's familiar. This discomfort is a sign that you're challenging your brain to grow. Each time you resist an excuse and take action instead, you're teaching your brain a new way of responding. Over time, this new pattern becomes the default, just as the old excuse once was. It's like carving a new path through a forest. The more you walk it, the clearer and easier it becomes. It's also important to understand that excuses often stem from fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. To truly break free from excuses, you must confront these fears head-on. This requires courage and a willingness to be vulnerable. For example, if you've been avoiding starting a new business because of the excuse, "I don't have enough experience," the underlying fear might be that you're afraid of failing or being judged by others. By acknowledging this fear and choosing to act anyway, you weaken the power of the excuse. Another critical aspect of breaking excuse patterns is replacing them with empowering alternatives. Excuses are inherently disempowering. They shift control away from you and onto external factors. To reclaim your power, you need to reframe your thinking. Instead of saying, "I can't do this because I don't have the skills," say, "I will learn the skills I need to succeed." This shift in mindset transforms you from a passive participant in your life to an active creator of your future. To support this transformation, it's helpful to surround yourself with positive influences. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your thoughts and behaviors. If you're constantly around people who make excuses, it's easy to fall into the same patterns. On the other hand, being around individuals who take responsibility and consistently push themselves can inspire you to do the same. Seek out mentors, peers, or even books and podcasts that encourage growth and accountability. Breaking the pattern of excuses is not about being perfect. It's about progress and persistence. There will be moments when you slip back into old habits, and that's okay. The key is to recognize it, forgive yourself, and get back on track. Each time you choose to overcome an excuse, you're strengthening your resolve and reinforcing a new, empowering pattern in your brain. This process requires patience, but the rewards are profound. As you free yourself from the grip of excuses, you'll discover a greater sense of control, confidence, and possibility. Identifying the limiting beliefs fueling your excuses is a powerful step toward transforming your life. Limiting beliefs are the invisible chains that bind us, holding us back from achieving our full potential. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, or repeated narratives that we've internalized over time. While they may seem like truths, they are often distorted interpretations of reality, born from fear or self-doubt. The first step in identifying these limiting beliefs is to become aware of them. Most of the time, these beliefs operate subconsciously, influencing our decisions and behaviors without us even realizing it. For instance, if you frequently find yourself saying, "I'm not smart enough," or "I can't do that because of my background," those statements are clues to underlying beliefs. They reveal a deeper story you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. To uncover these beliefs, pay attention to the excuses you make. Each excuse is often rooted in a limiting belief. By tracing the excuse back to its source, you can begin to identify the belief that's holding you back. Another effective way to uncover limiting beliefs is to reflect on patterns in your life. Where do you consistently feel stuck? What are the recurring challenges or obstacles you face? Often these patterns point to deeply ingrained beliefs. For example, if you find it difficult to form lasting relationships, the underlying belief might be, "I'm not worthy of love." If you struggle to advance in your career, the belief might be, "I'm not good enough to succeed." These beliefs create a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe something strongly enough, your actions or lack of action align with that belief, reinforcing it over time. Limiting beliefs are often formed during childhood or significant life events. As children, we absorb messages from our parents, teachers, peers, and society. If a child is repeatedly told they're not good at something, they may internalize that message as a core belief. Similarly, a failure or rejection in adulthood can lead to the formation of a limiting belief. For instance, if you failed at a business venture, you might develop the belief, "I'm not cut out for entrepreneurship." These beliefs may feel protective, shielding us from further pain or disappointment, but in reality, they keep us stuck and prevent us from growing. Challenging these beliefs requires courage and introspection. Once you've identified a limiting belief, ask yourself, is this belief absolutely true? What evidence do I have to support it? Often you'll find that these beliefs don't hold up under scrutiny. For example, if your belief is, "I'm not smart enough to learn a new skill," consider the times you've successfully learned something new in the past. Recognizing these successes can help you see that your belief is not an unchangeable truth, but a perspective you've adopted. It's also helpful to explore the origin of your beliefs. Where did this belief come from? Who or what influenced it? Understanding the source can provide clarity and help you separate the belief from your identity. For example, if your belief is rooted in a critical comment from a parent or teacher, you can recognize that their perspective doesn't define your potential. This realization can be incredibly freeing, allowing you to release beliefs that no longer serve you. Reframing limiting beliefs is a crucial part of the process. Once you've identified and challenged the belief, replace it with a new, empowering one. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm capable of growth and improvement." Instead of "I'm too old to start," say, "It's never too late to learn and succeed." This shift in mindset creates a new narrative that supports your goals and aspirations. By consistently reinforcing this new belief, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind, replacing old patterns with new, empowering ones. The environment you surround yourself with plays a significant role in either reinforcing or challenging your beliefs. If you're constantly around people who share similar limiting beliefs, it can be difficult to break free from them. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with individuals who embody the mindset and behaviors you aspire to can inspire and motivate you to adopt new beliefs. Seek out mentors, role models, and communities that encourage growth and challenge the status quo. Their perspectives and experiences can serve as evidence that your limiting beliefs are not the ultimate truth. Taking action is another powerful way to dismantle limiting beliefs. Often these beliefs thrive on inaction. By avoiding challenges or opportunities, you reinforce the belief that you're not capable. However, when you take even small steps toward your goals, you begin to gather evidence that contradicts your limiting beliefs. Each success, no matter how minor, weakens the old belief and strengthens a new one. For example, if your belief is, "I can't speak in public," delivering a small presentation to a supportive group can begin to shift that narrative. Over time, these small wins build confidence and create momentum for larger changes. Taking ownership of your life is the foundation of personal transformation. It means accepting full responsibility for your actions, decisions, and the outcomes they create. While it might seem easier to blame external factors, circumstances, other people, or even luck for where you are in life, this mindset keeps you trapped in a cycle of powerlessness. True ownership begins with the understanding that your life is a reflection of your choices, and the moment you embrace this truth, you reclaim the ability to shape your destiny. When you take ownership, you stop waiting for someone else to solve your problems or give you permission to succeed. Instead, you realize that the power to change your life has always been within you. This shift in perspective can be uncomfortable, because it requires confronting the ways you've been complicit in your own struggles. For example, if you're unhappy in your career, it's easy to blame a difficult boss, a lack of opportunities, or external circumstances. But taking ownership means asking yourself, what choices have I made that contributed to this situation? What steps can I take to improve it? This level of self-reflection can be challenging, but it's also incredibly liberating because it puts the focus back on what you can control. Ownership requires letting go of excuses. Excuses are a way of deflecting responsibility and protecting yourself from discomfort or failure. While they may feel valid in the moment, they ultimately keep you stuck. For instance, saying, "I don't have enough time" or "I'm not talented enough" might absolve you from taking action, but it also prevents you from making progress. When you take ownership, you replace excuses with accountability. Instead of saying, "I can't because of X," you start asking, "How can I overcome X?" This shift in language reflects a deeper shift in mindset, where you stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start viewing them as challenges to solve. Another key aspect of ownership is recognizing that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable, but your response to those challenges is entirely within your power. For example, if you face a setback, such as losing a job or experiencing a personal failure, you have a choice. You can dwell on what went wrong and blame external factors, or you can use the experience as an opportunity to learn and grow. Ownership means choosing the latter, even when it's difficult. Taking ownership also involves setting clear intentions and aligning your actions with your goals. It's not enough to wish for a better life, you need to take deliberate steps to create it. This means being honest with yourself about what you want and committing to the actions required to achieve it. For instance, if your goal is to improve your health, taking ownership might mean creating a consistent exercise routine, making healthier food choices, and holding yourself accountable for those decisions. It's about moving from passive hope to active effort, recognizing that your results are a direct reflection of the work you put in. Ownership extends to your mindset as well. The thoughts you think and the beliefs you hold play a significant role in shaping your reality. If you're constantly focused on what's wrong or what you lack, you'll find it difficult to make progress. Taking ownership of your mindset means becoming aware of negative thought patterns and consciously choosing to replace them with more empowering ones. For example, instead of thinking, "I'll never succeed," you might choose to focus on thoughts like, "I'm capable of learning and improving." This shift in perspective not only affects your actions, but also changes the way you perceive challenges and opportunities. It's important to acknowledge that taking ownership doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that's gone wrong in your life. It's about recognizing the role you play in your circumstances and taking responsibility for what you can change moving forward. For example, if you've experienced a difficult past, taking ownership doesn't mean dismissing the impact of those experiences. It means acknowledging them, learning from them, and deciding how you want to move forward despite them. This mindset is empowering because it shifts the focus from what's happened to what you can do. Ownership also requires consistency. It's not a one-time decision, but an ongoing commitment to being accountable for your life. There will be moments when it's tempting to fall back into old habits or blame others for your challenges. In these moments, it's important to remind yourself why you chose to take ownership in the first place. By consistently holding yourself accountable, you build resilience and reinforce the belief that you are in control of your life. This consistency is what separates temporary effort from lasting transformation. Replacing excuses with empowering affirmations is a transformative practice that reshapes your mindset and unlocks your potential. Excuses often stem from fear, self-doubt, or limiting beliefs, creating mental barriers that prevent you from pursuing your goals. They may sound convincing in the moment, offering a temporary sense of comfort or justification for inaction, but they ultimately keep you stuck. Empowering affirmations, on the other hand, shift your focus from what's holding you back to what's possible. They replace doubt with belief, fear with confidence, and hesitation with determination, helping you align your thoughts with the outcomes you desire. The first step in this process is recognizing the excuses you make and the patterns behind them. Excuses often follow a predictable script, starting with phrases like I can't, I'm not, or I don't have. For example, you might say, I can't start my own business because I don't have enough experience, or I'm not talented enough to succeed in that field. These statements feel final, as if they're absolute truths, but they are simply stories you've told yourself based on fear or past experiences. Identifying these patterns is crucial, because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Once you're aware of the excuses you make, you can begin to challenge them and replace them with affirmations that empower you to take action. Empowering affirmations are positive. Present 10 statements that reflect the qualities, actions, and outcomes you want to embody. Unlike excuses which focus on limitations, affirmations focus on possibilities. For instance, instead of saying, I don't have enough experiences to succeed, you could say, I am capable of learning and growing every day. Instead of, I'm not talented enough, say, I have unique skills and abilities that bring value to the world. These affirmations may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable at first because they challenge deeply ingrained beliefs, but with consistent practice, they become a natural part of your thinking. The power of affirmations lies in their ability to rewire your brain. When you repeat an affirmation regularly, you create new neural pathways that strengthen your belief in the statement. This process, known as neuroplasticity, allows your brain to adapt and change over time. By replacing excuses with affirmations, you're essentially training your mind to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. This shift in focus has a ripple effect on your actions, as your thoughts influence your emotions, and your emotions drive your behavior. When you believe you are capable, resourceful, and deserving, you're more likely to take the actions necessary to achieve your goals. To make affirmations effective, it's important to phrase them in a way that resonates with you. Generic affirmations can feel hollow or forced, so tailor them to your specific goals and values. For example, if your excuse is I'm too old to change careers, your affirmation might be, I have a lifetime of experience that equips me to succeed in any field. If your excuse is I don't have enough time to pursue my passion, your affirmation could be, I prioritize what matters most to me and create time for my dreams. The key is to make the affirmation personal and meaningful so that it feels authentic and inspiring. Consistency is another essential aspect of using affirmations. Saying an affirmation once or twice won't create lasting change. To replace excuses with empowering beliefs, you need to repeat your affirmations regularly, ideally every day. Incorporate them into your routine by saying them aloud in front of a mirror, writing them in a journal, or setting reminders on your phone. The more you engage with your affirmations, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious mind. Over time, they will start to influence not just your thoughts, but also your actions and decisions. Another important factor is emotion. Simply reciting an affirmation without feeling its truth is unlikely to create significant change. To maximize the impact of your affirmations, connect with the emotions behind them. Visualize what it would feel like to live the truth of your affirmation. Imagine the confidence, joy, or fulfillment you would experience if you fully believed in your own potential. By associating affirmations with positive emotions, you strengthen their impact and make them more effective at counteracting excuses. It's also helpful to pair affirmations with action. While affirmations can shift your mindset, they are most powerful when accompanied by tangible steps toward your goals. For example, if your affirmation is, "I am capable of achieving financial independence," take practical steps to align with that belief, such as creating a budget, investing in your skills, or seeking guidance from a mentor. Each action reinforces the affirmation, creating a cycle of belief and progress that replaces the cycle of excuses and inaction. Finally, be patient with yourself. Changing deeply ingrained patterns takes time and effort, and there will be moments when old excuses resurface. When this happens, remind yourself of your commitment to growth and return to your affirmations. Over time, the excuses that once held you back will lose their power, and the empowering beliefs you've cultivated will take their place. Acting despite discomfort is one of the most powerful habits you can develop for personal growth and success. Discomfort is an inevitable part of any meaningful pursuit, yet most people shy away from it, allowing fear or uncertainty to dictate their choices. The truth is, discomfort is not a signal to stop. It's a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, pushing boundaries and growing. Every time you avoid discomfort, you reinforce a habit of staying safe, but every time you embrace it and take action anyway, you build resilience and confidence, proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Discomfort often comes disguised as fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. These fears create a mental barrier that can feel insurmountable, but they are rarely as daunting as they seem. The mind has a way of magnifying potential risks and downplaying potential rewards, which is why so many people stay stuck in jobs they dislike, relationships that no longer serve them, or routines that feel unfulfilling. Acting despite discomfort means recognizing that fear is a natural response to the unfamiliar, but not a valid reason to stop. It's about choosing courage over convenience, growth over stagnation, and possibilities over limitations. One of the reasons discomfort feels so challenging is that the brain is wired to prioritize safety and predictability. This evolutionary mechanism once helped our ancestors survive physical dangers, but in modern life it can hold us back. The brain perceives stepping into the unknown as a threat, even when the risks are minimal, triggering a fight or flight response. Acting despite discomfort involves overriding this instinct and teaching your brain that discomfort is not dangerous but necessary for growth. The more you expose yourself to uncomfortable situations, the more your brain adapts, gradually reducing the intensity of fear and resistance. It's important to understand that discomfort doesn't last forever. It's a temporary state, and the more you lean into it, the more you realize it's not as overwhelming as it seems. Think about a time when you faced a challenge that initially felt daunting, whether it was giving a presentation, learning a new skill, or having a difficult conversation. At first, the discomfort was intense, but as you took action, it began to fade. This is because action shifts your focus from what you're afraid of to what you're capable of, breaking the cycle of overthinking and self-doubt. Small, consistent actions are key to building the habit of acting despite discomfort. You don't need to make dramatic leaps right away. Even small steps can create momentum and build your confidence. For example, if the thought of networking intimidates you, start by attending a small event or reaching out to one person. If public speaking feels overwhelming, begin by practicing in front of a friend or recording yourself. Each small victory reinforces the belief that you can handle discomfort, making it easier to take on bigger challenges over time. Reframing discomfort as a positive sign can also help you embrace it. Instead of viewing it as something to avoid, see it as evidence that you're growing and stretching your capabilities. Discomfort means you're doing something new, taking risks and moving closer to your goals. It's a sign that you're living fully rather than settling for what's familiar or easy. By changing your perspective on discomfort, you shift from resisting it to welcoming it as an essential part of the journey. Another way to act despite discomfort is to focus on your purpose or vision. When you're clear about what you want to achieve and why it matters, it becomes easier to push through fear and uncertainty. Your purpose acts as a compass, guiding you through challenging moments and reminding you of the bigger picture. For example, if your goal is to start a business, the discomfort of making sales calls or pitching ideas feels less significant when you're focused on the vision of creating something meaningful. Keeping your purpose front and center helps you stay motivated and resilient, even in the face of obstacles. Accountability can also play a crucial role in overcoming discomfort. When you commit to a goal and share it with others, you create external pressure to follow through, even when you're tempted to give up. For instance, joining a group of like-minded individuals or working with a mentor can provide the support and encouragement you need to take action despite your fears. Knowing that others are invested in your success can push you to step up and hold yourself accountable, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's worth noting that not all discomfort is productive. There's a difference between discomfort that comes from growth and discomfort that signals harm or misalignment. Learning to distinguish between the two is important. Growth-oriented discomfort challenges your limits in a way that leads to improvement and progress, while harmful discomfort often involves compromising your values or well-being. By tuning into your intuition and reflecting on your experiences, you can discern whether discomfort is helping or hindering your journey. Ultimately, acting despite discomfort is a skill that becomes easier with practice. The more you face uncomfortable situations head-on, the more you prove to yourself that you're capable of handling them. This builds a positive feedback loop, where each success reinforces your confidence and reduces the power of fear. Over time, you'll find that situations that once felt intimidating become manageable, and your ability to take bold, decisive action grows. Staying consistent even when progress feels slow is one of the most challenging yet rewarding principles of achieving success. In a world that often celebrates quick results and instant gratification, it's easy to feel disheartened when your efforts don't seem to yield immediate outcomes. However, true growth and transformation are rarely instant. They are the result of persistent effort, patience, and a commitment to the process, even when the results are not immediately visible. Consistency is the quiet force behind every great accomplishment, and embracing it allows you to build momentum and lay the foundation for lasting success. One of the most important things to understand about consistency is that it compounds over time. Just like small, seemingly insignificant actions can lead to major setbacks, when repeated small positive actions can create extraordinary results when sustained. This is often referred to as the compound effect. For example, reading 10 pages of a book every day might not seem impactful at first, but over a year you'll have read several books. Exercising for 20 minutes daily might not yield dramatic changes in the first week, but over months, the cumulative effect will transform your health and fitness. Progress may feel invisible in the beginning, but each action builds on the last, creating momentum that eventually leads to significant outcomes. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce your belief in your ability to persevere and achieve your goals. On the other hand, when you give up or waver, it erodes your confidence and makes it harder to trust yourself in the future. This self-trust is crucial because it serves as a foundation for all your endeavors. When you know you can rely on yourself to stay consistent, even in the face of challenges, you approach your goals with greater determination and resilience. This self-reliance is what separates those who persist from those who give up when progress feels slow. It's important to recognize that slow progress does not mean no progress. Often the most meaningful growth happens beneath the surface in ways that aren't immediately apparent. Consider the example of a seed planted in the ground. For weeks or even months, there may be no visible signs of growth, but beneath the soil, roots are forming and the foundation for a thriving plant is being established. Similarly, your efforts may not always produce visible results right away, but they are laying the groundwork for future success. Staying consistent allows you to nurture this unseen progress, trusting that it will eventually come to fruition. Another key to maintaining consistency is focusing on the process rather than the outcome. When progress feels slow, it's tempting to fixate on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This can lead to frustration, discouragement, and even the temptation to give up. However, when you shift your focus to the actions you can control, such as showing up every day, putting in the effort, and sticking to your plan, you free yourself from the pressure of immediate results. The process becomes its own reward, and over time, the outcomes will naturally follow. Creating a routine is one of the most effective ways to stay consistent. When your actions become habits, they require less mental effort and willpower to maintain. For example, if your goal is to write a book, establishing a daily writing routine, whether it's 30 minutes in the morning or 500 words before bed, can help you stay on track, even when motivation wanes. Routines provide structure and reduce the likelihood of procrastination or distractions, making it easier to stay committed to your goals over the long term. Resilience is another crucial component of consistency. There will inevitably be days when you feel tired, unmotivated, or uncertain about whether your efforts are worth it. During these moments, it's important to remind yourself why you started and what you stand to gain by staying the course. Visualizing your end goal and reflecting on the progress you've already made can reignite your determination and help you push through temporary setbacks. It's also helpful to remember that consistency doesn't mean perfection. Missing a day or making a mistake doesn't erase the progress you've made. It's your ability to get back on track that matters most. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also help you stay consistent when progress feels slow. Whether it's friends, family, mentors, or like-minded individuals pursuing similar goals, having a support system can provide encouragement, accountability, and perspective. When you share your challenges and victories with others, you're reminded that you're not alone in your journey, and their insights can help you navigate difficult moments. Additionally, seeing others who have achieved success through consistency can inspire you to keep going, reinforcing the belief that your efforts will eventually pay off. Finally, staying consistent requires a mindset shift. Instead of viewing slow progress as a sign of failure or inadequacy, see it as an opportunity to develop patience, discipline, and resilience. These qualities are valuable not just for achieving your current goal, but for every aspect of your life. The ability to stay consistent, even when it feels like nothing is happening, is what sets apart those who achieve lasting success from those who give up too soon. It's a testament to your commitment, perseverance, and belief in your own potential.